Morgan, how are you attempting right now to influence members of Congress?
Judy, what we're doing right now is pointing out on television and across the country, and we've held hundreds of rallies. We have aired over 24 commercials, and we are unveiling a new commercial coming up this Friday, and it is called The Choice is Clear. We make it powerfully and visually apparent to everybody that if we don't win in Iraq, we are going to lose America. It's that simple. And let me also say that I certainly would hope that the Democrats, as they're planning their strategy meetings with people like Mr. Soltz and MoveOn.org, others who are meeting daily in telephone conference calls, which we are not, by the way, on our side, that Al-Qaeda is listening to their results as well. And I would really hope that they could put that energy into defeating the enemy rather than to accommodate some sort of political score, some sort of game to them to win elections in 2008. And that's what we are doing. We are doing rallies, emails. We have a complete strategy in place, and we will fight organizations like VoteVet.org and MoveOn.org. We don't have the millions of dollars in funding that George Soros has given them, but we have the hearts and will of American people.
And Mr. Soltz, just can you respond? And I want to know which senators and others you're targeting. Can you just give us a few names?
Yes, ma'am. We have the hearts and will of over 65% of the American people, the Iraq Study Group, the 45% of the troops who've served in our military that don't support George Bush's war in Iraq, and they have the 36% that do. So the polls, and we have that support. But, you know, the issue is that they want to support this nation-building policy. So this week we're rolling out ads out in Minnesota, targeting Senator Coleman. We're running ads in New Hampshire, targeting Senator Sununu, Virginia, Senator Warner, and also in House districts across the country, along with Susan Collins in Maine. But she's right. I couldn't agree with her more. Al-Qaeda is listening, and that's the entire point. And Al-Qaeda supports their policy. They have undermined our troops in the field. They've empowered Iran. Al-Qaeda said it 2 days ago. They want us in Iraq. They've strategically fixed our assets to defeat them in the war on terror inside the middle of a Shia-Sunni conflict in the middle of the Middle East. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
In the fearsome firepower of Al-Qaeda and in their ability to win a war. And I think what you're saying is shameful and really disrespectful.
You're undermining our troops in the field right now by these comments.
I want to ask,
I am the troops.
I need to ask Ms. Morgan a question. I need to ask Ms. Morgan a question, and that is the development of the last day or so, where we now have the Republican leadership saying that they are looking at the fall, and even today, I believe we had Senator McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, say they're looking even at late summer and saying if there's progress or not in Iraq, and that'll determine what they do going forward.
Well, I just want to send a message to all of the congressional representatives and the senators. Much like MoveOn.org, our side on the right, those who support the troops and support their mission and victory in Iraq will be watching their votes. Any Republicans who waver whatsoever, we will be targeting them as well. This is a long-term war, and I'm sorry that Mr. Stoltz doesn't seem to understand that we can't snap our fingers and be out of Iraq tomorrow. There's nobody who wants our men and women, our sons and daughters and brothers and sisters back immediately. But we are paying attention. We will raise the money $1 at a time, and we will continue to roll out our ads and take out newspaper columns. We will write our congressmen and our representatives, and we will be just as active, energized, and engaged as those on the leftist, anti-American, anti-war side, and you can count on it.
And Mr. Soltz, just quickly.
Yeah, I think she's exactly right. She better spend her money on the Republicans because they're fracturing real quick because they can't stand with a president who's like an anchor on their policy. So, Ms. Morgan, spend your money on the right because we're playing offense, not defense. And
we're spending our money for our troops and to support their mission and to support victory in Iraq.
We are the troops. That's why in this bill that the Republicans voted against, they voted against $25 million to clean up the president.
You keep saying that like it's some sort of...
And Ms. Morgan.
$350 million for Walter Reed.
We're going to have to leave it there. Mr. Soltz, Ms. Morgan, we thank you both. I think we get a sense of the depth of the feelings on both sides
of
this important debate. Thank you both. We appreciate you joining us.